So, a sneak peek of Emma Watson singing in the upcoming Beauty and the Beast film, one of the most anticipated movies of 2017, according to Fandango, has leaked. And it came from a very unlikely source, and that's toys. Although I guess a very appropriate one considering the time of year. But anyway, toys, and particularly a doll version of Emma Watson, comes with a recording of her singing There's Something There. And one of the producers of the film confirmed on Instagram that it is indeed Emma Watson singing, although he lamented the delivery method of a doll recording. But I have to say, I think she sounds fantastic. Not so much from a singing perspective, but for the purposes of the film itself. But before we listen, and we're going to listen in just a moment, I'd like to say what everyone's thinking, and that's that doll couldn't look less like Emma Watson. I'd be like, wow, I don't know why somebody who would approve that, who would be like, wow, I think if people really love Emma Watson and Beauty and the Beast and want a representation of that in their home, they should go buy that doll. No, I guess they will buy it for the cutout where she looks so miserable. More on that in a moment. I think it's actually almost becoming a running gag how unhappy she looks in the stills and the footage for this movie so far. But I think there's a reason for that. Okay, but first let's take a listen to her singing. She's better than me. There you go. There's the little sample. And as I said, I think she's pretty darn good. And you'll notice one of my reaction while I was listening to it with you was she's better than me, but not by much. She definitely doesn't come across as like a professional singer. She's no Idina Menzel. And on that note, I think it's interesting that they didn't remix the songs, right? Like, why would you compete with the original renditions? Like, what are people going to listen to going forward? Will they listen to this, or will they listen to Paige O'Hara singing the original? I would have liked them to have remixed them a little bit, the way they did so successfully for Lana Del Rey with Once Upon a Dream for Maleficent, but they didn't. And so what you have instead is almost like a sing-along quality to the original score, which kind of works though, because I think it makes Belle specifically very relatable, right? Because she's good, but she's kind of like how you would imagine, like when I hear myself singing, that's how I sound, right? Now, I've heard recordings of myself singing by people who wanted to point out to me, my friends, that I'm not quite as good as I think I am. But, I think that while she's not going to blow anyone away with the quality of her voice, I think that the performance, and, Emma Watson, of course, is primarily an actress, is what really impresses me here, because she seems like a really nice person when she's singing. I think that's really important. And there's a joy in it, like a surprising joy, that is so not evident, and as you can see, the stills of her for the film. So it made me think, and also there's been like a rare photo of her smiling. 2 now, you can actually see, we're going to talk about this debut of this new dress as well. But we have 2 photos of her now genuinely smiling. But it's still like it's a weird smile, and it made me think that perhaps Emma Watson's Belle is really uncomfortable in her own skin. To which I'm sure the Beast would be like, you're kidding me, right? But in all seriousness, that's a way for them to relate. Like, you don't have to look like a beast, although it certainly helps you to feel that way, to being uncomfortable in your own skin. And, maybe that was his problem, that he couldn't imagine being, when he was a human prince, he couldn't imagine being uncomfortable in his own skin, because he was awesome. But, the evil witch, the Met, well, she didn't think she was being evil, although I'm sure his whole staff curses the day she came there. But no, it's a teachable moment. We can't get too angry about that. But, this was a way for him to see how someone like Belle feels all the time, which is fascinating. I think that's a really great idea. I really like it, actually. It makes me, I hope the movie actually is this sophisticated, and this isn't just something that I'm putting together to make me be more okay with her performance. Also, you can see, Some of these pictures I like quite a bit. I like her with the candelabra, walking around, like exploring the castle. I think that looks cool. I think she looks nice holding the rose. I'm not too keen on some of these where, again, she just looks absolutely miserable. But again, I think it might be because she's just really unhappy in her own skin, which I think works really. It's a layer to add to the movie that I hadn't anticipated, but was brilliant when I hear it. I'm like, wow. You know, I just recently talked about The Jungle Book being a great live-action adaptation of an animated Disney movie because it added layers to the story. It made it more sophisticated. And this would be I mean, you might think, what can you possibly add to the animated Beauty and the Beast? It's the first animated movie ever to be nominated for Best Picture. And bam! Here's something. Here's a layer they didn't think of. You can also see from these toys that that necklace that I pointed out in my shot by shot is clearly very important, although not so important that she would wear it at the final scene of the film. I don't know if that's supposed to be their wedding or not. It does seem to have a little bit of a wedding theme. Just look at those flowers behind her. They're so gorgeous, right? And the flowers on her dress are so pretty. And she does look mildly happy, right? I mean, like, that's this Belle's wedding day smile. Hilarious. And that doll looks a little bit more like Dan Stevens than that does look like. It looks so a little like Emma Watson. It's kind of frustrating. But in the picture of her, she looks lovely, although she's not wearing that necklace. But I think it's very pretty. And I think all these toys are nice, but I have to say, I hope that maybe there's a line of books to promote along with the film, maybe the classics. Disney, I mean, they could partner with a publisher. I think they're probably don't have any, specific rights anymore. I think the copyright would have lapsed on them. But maybe to have, to encourage kids to read the great classics, right? Like from, Jane Eyre, which has a lot of similarities to this Beauty and the Beast, actually, to maybe Frankenstein. I'll never forget when I actually read the novel of Frankenstein. It had such a big impact on me because it was so far superior to any of the filmed versions. And it would be great for this, I think these toys come across as a little superficial, and based on my extrapolations for the movie, the story the message of the movie might be a little bit deeper than that. And it would be great to have that carried out in the merchandising. But anyway, what do you think? What do you think of her singing? What do you think of my idea that she's uncomfortable in her own skin and how that relates to the Beast? What do you think of these toys? What do you think of the dress? Write your thoughts down below. And I am indeed very excited about this movie. It is one of my most anticipated films of 2017 as well. All right, write your thoughts down below, and you can check out some more videos right now.